Hi, thank you for listening to our information session about the Philadelphia Public Service Fellows. Let's get started. Our team is made up of four full-time staff folks. Our director, Ariel, oversees strategic planning, crisis management, and program design. She also works with program funding and city compliance for all participants and supervisors, as well as overarching support for members. Our program manager is Audrey, and she works to support site supervisors through onboarding, coaching, and helping them with their fellow position. She works to also provide supervisors with the tools to be successful in supervising and coaching their fellows. Annika is our member experience coordinator. She is responsible for crafting an intentional and inclusive cohort experience that includes monthly professional development seminars as well as cohort building sessions, along with retreats and overseeing other essential moments throughout the fellowship. My name is Sarah. I'm the Outreach and Recruitment Coordinator, and I work to expand the breadth and depth of our candidate pool. And I'm dedicated to the goal of hosting a fellow cohort that is representative of the diversity of our city. I make sure that our application process is also accessible and equitable for all. A quick agenda about the flow of this presentation. So this presentation will start with an overview of our program, followed by the application process. We will then move into the interview process and finish with the best way to reach us for any questions. We're going to start with the program overview. An overview of the Philadelphia Public Service Fellows. Our mission is cultivating a pathways to public service through equity-driven initiatives that strengthen economic resilience for all Philadelphians. We have a vision of a Philadelphia where economic opportunity is made possible by a new generation of public servants. So what is Philadelphia Public Service Fellows? We are a 9-month fellowship that begins on September 8th of this year and ends on May 28th of next year. Our fellowship starts with orientation, where we go over program and city policies, have cohort building activities, and also have time for fellows to meet with their supervisor. Each fellow will have a dedicated site supervisor. That supervisor will work with them to provide direct supervision as well as weekly check-ins. Throughout the fellowship, we will also provide professional development opportunities, including seminars from subject matter experts. Each project has a specific goal for the full project scope, and each fellow description has a distinct set of milestones and activities unique to that project year. A common thread across all projects is a focus on capacity building and equitable and sustainable solutions for economic mobility. Our program values are what we work to embody throughout the program, including our staff, supervisors, and fellows. Our first value is people informed, in which we collaborate with partners to foster innovation, make data-driven decisions, and center equitable practices that affect positive change in Philadelphia. Our next value is inclusion, in which we cultivate an environment that centers opportunities to celebrate our lived experiences and creates an authentic sense of belonging. Service, we inspire ourselves and others to embody values and actions rooted in equity and the pursuit of justice. The next value is resilience. We empower fellows to develop skills and confidence to adapt to challenges and self-advocate. And our final value, leadership. We equip fellows to find their purpose so that they may lead with curiosity, empathy, and intention. So a bit more about the fellowship structure. So fellows will be placed with projects that focus on capacity building that works to strengthen economic mobility for Philadelphians. Capacity building activities can include, but are not limited to, creating tools, systems, and guides like databases, policy briefs, and marketing materials, generating resources through partnerships, volunteers, and/or grant writing, developing, organizing, and/or assessing programs, events, and/or meetings, supporting, establishing, or strengthening cross-departmental sector partnerships, and designing and implementing feedback and evaluation tools, synthesizing, analyzing data, and/or research. So a bit about project focus areas. So all projects will fall into one of 4 focus areas. These are the main areas that the project will work to enhance. So each project will fall into the 3 main project focus areas of data and systems for equity, education access and career readiness, and healthy communities. Under each focus area, you will see a secondary focus area, in which projects may have identified a more detailed impact that the project scope aims to have. While each project will be unique to each department or office, all projects will fall under one of four fellow tracks that describes the type of work that the fellow will focus on. The first fellow track being Outreach and Engagement Fellow. These individuals are vital community connectors, implementing creative outreach strategies to build meaningful relationships with local residents and organizations. Next is the Program Coordination Fellow. This fellow is at the heart of program operations, supporting vital community initiatives. They'll co-create and execute programs, coordinate with stakeholders, track progress, design feedback tools, and manage event logistics. Next, we have our Partnership and Resource Development Fellow. This individual will contribute to organizational growth by supporting financial resource development, relationship building, and strategic planning efforts. And our final fellow track is the Research and Analysis Fellow. This individual will dive into the exciting world of research and analysis, working with data sets to uncover meaningful insights and researching best and promising practices from peer cities. For those that are considering applying to be a fellow, our fellow requirements are that you must be 21 years of age or older at the start of the fellowship on the first day. You must have a high school diploma or equivalent degree, and you also must be able to pass the city's criminal background check if you are selected and made an offer. We are working to give priority to those that have a diploma from either a Philadelphia area high school or Philadelphia area college or university, including the collar counties. While in service, some benefits that the fellows will receive is they will receive $20 per hour while serving for 30 hours per week, with a full stipend of up to $22,800 during service. At the completion of service, they'll receive a $4,000 completion award. During service, we provide 80 plus hours of professional development seminars with subject matter experts, as well as up to $250 per member for additional professional development of their choosing. We provide SEPTA Key Advantage benefits as well as earned sick leave for fellows. The final benefit is access to the public sector networks and career opportunities for those that are working in the city. Now, we are now going to go through an overview of the application process. When you fill out an application, you will be asked to initially share your name, your email, your phone number, and your birthday. Please note that if your birthday does not align with being 21 years of age or older, it will not let you, at the start of the fellowship on September 8th, it will not let you fill out an application. You will also be asked if you have attended a Philadelphia area high school or university. You will then be asked to give us a personal statement to a given prompt that allows us to understand your interests and how they align with the Philadelphia Public Service Fellows. We provide the personal statement rubric that you can use while crafting your response. You will then be asked to submit your resume, and it's okay if you don't have one, as you can use our template that we have provided by making a copy and filling it out with your skills, experience, and interest. Some tips when filling out the application are to draft your personal statement ahead of time on a separate document to ensure that there's no grammatical issues and that you are reaching all the points that you would like to say. We encourage you to update your resume to showcase your interest and skills that align with the fellowship, as well as take time filling out the application if you choose to apply. Next, you will be asked to share your preferred fellow track or tracks, as well as focus area or focus areas. You will fill out a short answer to explain why you have made those selections, as well as an optional space to share up to 3 individual projects that excite you. Answering this specific question about the projects that excite you will not guarantee an interview from any of the projects that you have selected. After that, there will then be a list of skills that you will select 8 of that you most identify with. We will then ask you for 2 references at the end of the application. Please note that the references must be professional or educational, not family or friends. The final question will ask about demographics as well as if you were referred by anyone. Some tips as you fill out the application and finish it are to read the resources that we provide on the application about the fellow tracks and the focus areas before making your selection. We encourage you to review the project guide to understand if there's any projects that interest you. Draft your short answer responses ahead of time so you can check for any grammatical mistakes and make sure that you have said all that you would like to. And also take time to reflect on your skills before making a selection on the skills that you most align with. We are now going to talk about the interview process. So Philly Fellows staff will review the resume and personal statement first. The rubric that we use for scoring the personal statement will be provided to you in the application. Those that pass the resume review and personal statement review will be invited to schedule a first round interview with one of our staff. This is a chance to share your initial skills, experience, and interest with our staff. Some tips ahead of preparing for this section is to use the rubric provided when submitting your application. Also, draft that personal statement ahead of time to check for grammar and ensure you've included all that you want to. And again, we encourage that you take time to reflect on your skills and draft your short answer responses before you're submitting your application. For the first round interview, individuals will be emailed a bookings link to schedule their first round interview with one of our staff. This interview is a 45-minute video call via Microsoft Teams, and it's a way to ensure that you understand the requirements and basics of our program. We will ask you to respond to 5 to 6 questions to learn more about you. This is also a chance to ask any questions you have about the program or anything involved with the program. Some tips for this section are to hold time on your calendar. If an interviewer sends you a calendar invite, make sure you accept it and hold that time. Prepare and think about your experience. What do you want the interviewer to know about you that pertains to the fellowship and the skills that you bring to it? Use the resources that we have provided in the email. When we invite you to the first round interview, we share best practices for interviewing, and that includes the interview questions that we will be asking. And we encourage you to use the resources to prepare for the interview. Lastly, we encourage you to be authentic and honest. We encourage our staff to come as their authentic selves as they're interviewing, and we want to get to know the most authentic and honest you as someone interested in our program. For those that move on to the second round interviews, these will be 45 to 60-minute video calls with site supervisors. This will also be a chance to ensure that you understand the requirements and basics of the specific fellow positions. You will meet with the supervisor and other relevant staff and respond to 7 to 8 questions so that they may learn more about your interests, skills, and strengths. This is an opportunity to ask questions about specific questions related to the fellow position. Some tips for the second round interviews. We encourage you to hold time in your calendar as well. If the sub-site interviewer sends you a calendar invite, make sure you accept it and hold that time on your calendar. Prepare and think about your experience specific to the fellow position. What do you want them to know and how do your skills align with that position? We encourage you to take notes as we will go through the feedback process in the next slide, but take notes as you're having the interview to make sure that you remember what went well, what you liked, what you didn't like for the feedback process. Lastly, be authentic and honest. We encourage our supervisors to be authentic and honest when they show up in interview spaces, and we want you to bring your honest and authentic self to the interview. Finally, the feedback and the placement process. So feedback forms allow us to make the best possible placements for both fellows and supervisors. As stated, it is encouraged that you take notes during any second round interview you have so you're able to clearly share your feedback with us when you've completed interviews and are ready to fill out the form. We ask that you are as honest as possible on our feedback form, as we do not want to place you somewhere that you would not be interested in. Once we complete placements, we will reach out with an offer if we were able to offer you a placement. Any matches or waitlist offers will be sent by August 4th. If you have any questions regarding the program or any part of the process, please reach out to Philly Fellows at phila.gov and someone will get back to you. Thank you for watching, and we hope that you apply.